As you probably know, Civil Rights Defenders is a Swedish organization that works in 4 countries in the region here, Serbia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Albania and Kosovo. And also we are working in other countries in the eastern part of Europe. In Serbia, we are working with 15 organizations on 15 projects. And as probably in your countries, we have 3 main objectives that we want to achieve through our program that is empowering people to claim their human rights, and we do that through better access to justice and better access to information. Then we want a state to be more responsible in protection of human rights, and we do that through proposition of some model laws and also through monitoring of the implementation of current legislation. And also we are working on empowering human rights activists. Since we are all here and we are a little bit late, I won't take any of your times. I'd like to present our colleague, actually our partner from Center for Advanced Legal Studies from Belgrade, who will tell you something more about legal framework, about the situation in Serbia in regards to human rights.
Okay, thanks, Ivana. Thank you for coming here. It is very nice to meet you all here, even though I already have opportunity to meet some of you in Stockholm during the Defenders Day this year, this year in April. Yeah, it was a gathering of NGOs in Stockholm. I was asked to discuss with you some of the topics related to the prohibition of discrimination. And I do understand that it would be rather nice to have kind of exchange of opinions or views in this regard, especially in relation to the fact that you are coming from neighboring countries, from region, and that we all share kind of same attitude or same set of problems in regards to equality, to discrimination, and to human rights. So basically, I try to make for you an opportunity to read something that I already wrote on human rights and on the topic of equality. And unfortunately, this book on human rights is in Serbian. It is in a process of translation right now. So everyone would be in a position to receive an e-copy once the translation is done. So I would ask our friends from the Civil Rights Defenders to send you the link or the e-copies once we have the copy in our hand. But for rest of you who are able to read Serbian, I mean, it's kind of gift from our side. On top of that, we have copied the paper that I wrote and published recently on the problem of human rights in the perspective of changing the constitution of Serbia. The main idea, which is written in the first page of the paper, is something that I would like you to maybe discuss if you have an interest, and then we might go further on to discuss some aspects of the legislation related to the prohibition of discrimination, a general framework, or rather some specific legislative acts, like one which deals with with same-sex partnership or something else. What is I'm really concerned is how to explain to others, to people with whom we do live in the same society. How could we explain to them, to these people, the very foundation of our society, of our community? So this is kind of philosophical question that we as human rights defenders needs to have an answer on. We need to be able to answer to the people who are interested in what we are doing, what kind of topic we are dealing with, and why these human rights are so important to all of us. And if you want to really to discuss this topic, then you need to go back to the foundation of our society, to the very basic idea on which the relationship between us is built. And I can't find any other answer than this, what is articulated here in the paper, that we have an alternative before us. We have an alternative to choose from. Either we understand and respect each other as equally free members of the very same community in which we live, or alternatively, we don't. So if we understand each other as equally free, then we need to build up a system of what is called constitutional democracy. Meaning that all of us are asked to participate in the building of the legal system, which is able to comprehend and protect all our rights and freedoms in an equal manner. So this is somehow the basic idea. If we understand each other as equally free, then we need to build up by ourselves the legal system which is able to accommodate all our needs, legitimate needs and interests. Alternatively, we could choose another path. We could say that we are not the same, that we need to make a distinction between minority or majority, to whom the legal system applies, while the others, minority or majority, I mean, it doesn't matter, is left with a lower level of security or accommodation of their needs. This alternative model of building up the society is based on the relationship of domination between one part of the community being minority, for instance, in a tyrannical or dictatorial state, like in North Korea, where just few people, absolute minority, dominates over a big majority of the population. Or we might say that we would rather choose the model in which majority in the community dominates over the minorities, whoever they are, national minority, religious minority, sexual minorities. making them second-class citizens.
Or invisible.
Or invisible. Yeah, that's correct. Or invisible. So these are our alternatives. And I think that we can successfully justify the idea of human rights only if we take this path leading to the constitutional democracy, if we want to treat ourselves as equally free. And this is the reason why we can say that we are doing something which is in the interest of all the members of the community. This idea is something powerful that we can take in our hands while advocating, while campaigning for human rights. We don't do that because we are trying to preserve or protect the interests of one group of people, of one minority. But we are doing that, we are campaigning for human rights because we want to have a framework of legal norms which is affecting all of us in the very same manner, making all of us equally free before the law, before the court. So these are basic ideas that I would be very happy if we can discuss for a while. And then we might jump into the topic of legislation, which is just a tool for ensuring this vital interest of all of us to be equally free. The legislation itself needs to be understood as a political tool to make free society. We can't live on the other side of the legal system, on the other side of the law. We don't want to do that. We want the law to be our safeguard against tyranny, against anyone who would like to make us a second-class citizen. So this is why we need legislation to be drafted and to be implemented in order to have that kind of free society. And when we are trying to draft new legislation here in Serbia, we are having this very same idea that this legislation is a basic tool for one who wants to live in a free society. So I don't know whether it is of any interest to you. What do you think about all of this?
Well, I think the main problem in West Balkan at all is politicians on the top, or politicians which people listen to, are, I choose if my English isn't the best at the moment, but I hope you
It doesn't matter.
understand each other. They make society the way it is, and in many occasions they do that in a wrong way, and we have very influential politicians which says, you know, the bunch of stuffs that are against human rights, and that's the problem. I think all over the countries here on the West Balkans.
What do you think? What do they use as a main precondition or a base ideology in their daily politics? I mean, is there something that you are particularly concerned about when you think over these models of dominations? I personally think that this kind of nationalism, which is doing quite well still here in our region, is something that is frequently or used on a daily basis as a firm ground for making additional aspects of this domination principle, this principle of domination between the classes of people living together. I mean, I don't know whether you think that the same problem exists in your countries.
For me, the biggest concern about Serbia is that someone from outside country, for example, EU, needs to say our politicians that some basic human rights need to be implemented in our society and in our political constitution.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, they are clever. They are not stupid. I mean, they are politicians. So they know how to deal with each other. I mean, they have an ideology. I mean, we need to understand that there is some kind of competition of ideas and values on the marketplace of ideas. So we are living in the marketplace of ideas, and they, as politicians, they are involved in this marketplace. So they don't advocate this idea of equally free members of the society living together. No, they are coming with various aspects of these domination principles before us. So they say basically that there are some people who are deserving kind of better treatment in the society, and the others are in worse position, and that it is justified. So this is what they are saying, basically.